Ah. Hmm. Go. What the fuck? No. Bad. How's it, everyone? Wayne the Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Geeking Out. I'm once again joined by my good friend. Come on. No, that's. I'm joined by my good friend Kyra's Cosplay as we talk about the second to last episode of HBO Max's The Last of Us. One more episode to go.
It's wild. Like, that's it?
It's been in a moment. I mean, I imagine right now they're working on season 2, which, if anyone's played the game, we know what's gonna happen.
It's gonna be very depressing.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. Let it be known, this is gonna be Pedro Pascal's third time getting whacked in the head.
You have
But
a Asian count.
this is the second time that he's played a character on an HBO show that gets whacked in the head by a muscle bound character.
Got a theme going, I see.
I mean, he kind of gets whacked in the head in Mandalorian, but he's wearing a helmet. But like, oh, I feel like Craig and Neil's like, hey, Pedro, you want to play a character who gets whacked in the head later on?
Oh yeah, that's just his style.
Uh, so yeah, this was they definitely. I heard a cat.
Yeah, she needed attention. Now she's helping me out.
um. For anyone who's familiar with with this series, either Cosplay Condog or Geeking Out, and just the channel in general, there's always going to be some kind of animal making a noise or an animal or a pet making an appearance.
Yeah, this particular cat is Delson.
Of course it is. Wait, Delson
Yep,
isn't Delson Rowe from? Of
that's the
course it is.
one.
Of course it is. Didn't you say he had a brother named? What was the brother's name?
Yeah, Reggie. The other one's Reggie.
Of course. They try to make us like David in this one for a minute.
I know. I don't like David. He's gross, but
And of
that's what
course
makes
they had to give him a back. Of course they had to give him a background of saying, "Oh yeah, I was once a teacher." He went from teacher to He went from teacher to preacher.
There's a
Yeah,
pipeline here.
there's a whole. So yeah, this episode they definitely cut out a lot too from like the game. Dawson, he's like, "Hi, yes, I'm now part of this review."
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I like what they did with David. He was just as creepy as the game.
I mean, they didn't make him look creepy like they did in the game though.
No, but I liked that because then he was a little more
Like, oh hey,
unsuspecting, I
we
suppose.
we can trust this guy. He may
Yeah.
not. Uh, ooh. Oh yeah, They made us like him, and another goddamn fucking fake out with a white rabbit.
I like seeing Troy Baker in the episode.
Yes. And the character's name was James that he was playing as, not Justin like I thought previous in the previous recap and the previous one we did. It was nice seeing Troy Baker, honestly.
It was kind of funny seeing Game Joel and Show Joel within
Oh
the
yeah.
feet of each other.
Well, I know Troy Baker, I think from what I saw in like the video game awards, how like Troy was talking how he's like really impressed with how Pedro's doing playing basically his character. Uh,
He should be impressed. Like Pedro's doing a great job.
he so he is really, and Pedro's like, how old is? Because I know I'm actually I'm not trying to look like a creeper here, but I'm like curious how old Pedro Pascal is. He is he's young though. I know that for a fact. Because I know like he's oh wow, he's 47. He's just like he's
It's
just
looking
like
good.
he's 9 years shy of how old Joel is in the game. I'm assuming Joel's in his 50s because he's like pushing 60 in part 2,
Yeah.
which I'm curious on how they're gonna age up Pedro for 4 years later. Oh,
Yeah, they mentioned his age in the episode with Henry and Sam, and I've now
oh
forgotten what that is. 56?
yeah, because he said he was like 36 20 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's he. I again, I think he's done a good job.
absolutely.
But yeah, what did you think of the opening scene when Ellie goes hunting for the rabbit and the deer?
The whole time I was watching the show, my heart was just racing because I knew what was coming. Everything about it was just, it was stylized to be calm, but creepy. And it's just unsettling the whole time. And I loved it. There was never a true moment of calm.
Sorry, I keep on getting distracted by your cat clawing at you. But
This is
yeah,
my baby.
this is my child.
Yep. Hi.
But no, I mean, oh, it just it like I almost wanted to like David. I really did. Yeah, this episode almost makes you want to like David for a minute,
Yeah,
especially
that's,
those who haven't who haven't played the game.
I definitely like that they did that because it just, I find it makes for a more interesting villain.
Hmm.
Someone who's a little more complex, layered, doesn't just, look like a villain, screams, I am a villain.
No, this one like you like even if like had I not played the game, I would have like, oh, I like this guy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what he wants you to think.
Oh yeah, and again, they take when Ellie first runs into James and David, it's almost the exact, you know, word for word like, we're off a settlement, men, women, children, very hungry, blah 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 blah. And same thing with Ellie.
I like how she handled herself in that scene. I mean, I'm older and I know what happens. I would have like hauled ass out of town right after running into those people, but
Oh
I
yeah.
like how she handles it. She keeps David at gunpoint, stays with the
Mhm,
deer. She's got she's not
mhm.
screwing around.
She's taken a page from Joel's book. Don't
Yeah, she
forget
really
really
is.
if you don't know that, you shouldn't trust them. And just like in the game, it's still kind of the same thing. Takes place in that sawmill where they're have the fire and everything, and minus and I was disappointed, but at the same time, I understand why we didn't get a scene where they were being chased by infected and then have to fight that bloater in the
Yeah,
sawmill.
I. The episode was already very stuffed full with plot points. I feel like that would have been
Oh
hard to
yeah.
fit in there.
Oh no, I mean we got to see more of that town too. David's
Hmm.
little, and you didn't like when he said there's men, women, and children. Like you didn't see any when you were playing the game, but like in this episode, you see the men, the women, the children,
Hmm.
elderly. It's like, God fucking damn it, Craig and Neil. Stop making us feel for these characters who we know are like shitty people.
No, never.
When we are in need, he shall help.
Hmm.
Yeah, what did you think about them giving David that his learning about David's background, how he was a teacher and then he basically became a quote unquote preacher?
Uh-huh. Yeah, cult leader.
It pretty much, pretty much, yeah. And then we hear him talking about you know how one of their fallen is dead and how that girl's daughter, that the guy's daughter, was asking when can we bury him, and it's like, oh, we can't.
Not
It's
until
still
after
that
we
touch.
strip him of meat.
Oh, yeah. It took me a day later to realize, and we'll get to that. But like they're trying so I mean like Neil and Craig said they're trying to humanize some of these antagonists and like they
Hmm.
did a fucking good job at convincing, you know.
Ugh. Yeah, I
Yeah, and
felt
then
bad for the girl, and they have no idea that like
oh yeah, no,
Craig
again,
was their
we'll get to that part. Um yeah, because if anyone knows, we basically give full spoilers, but not too much to where you can still enjoy the episode. Because I'm not doing a word for shot. No, fuck that. But yeah, then we and then again, David quotes that line, like in the game, how we sent some men out to a town, and you know only a few of them came back.
dad.
Say, and then he had to say, oh yeah, that one guy that Joel killed was someone's father.
Oh, I love
To
how he
let it,
delivered that, like the line, and then you process that this is the same. This is the guy who was with the group that attacked them 2 episodes ago.
mm-hmm.
They've been keeping an eye on you the entire time. Like that's so creepy. That's so stalker
Oh yeah,
behavior.
this crazy man and this little girl, and then a crazy man killed one of our men, and I'm like, because that it wasn't mentioned that that guy was a father or anything. It was just some rando, you
Yeah.
know, crazy person. I'm like, oh, so this is the first time Joel killed someone's father. He will be killing another father until later, until like they get to until they get to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
So let it be known, Joel has killed two fathers.
It's crazy because it probably would have been best if Ellie had never interacted with David and his
Mm-hmm.
crew, but if she hadn't, she never would have gotten the penicillin and Joel might have
Mm-hmm.
died.
Oh yeah, no. And again, Troy Baker,
He's great.
just seeing a random character NPC character having more dialogue and
Hmm.
everything compared to the game, perfect. It's like if it was any other actors, like why are we seeing this guy? But it's like it's Troy Baker. Like keep showing his beautiful face, please. Keep
Yeah.
showing that the beard and everything.
I thought he did a great job. It was good to see him again.
Oh yeah, no, it was, and I do like the fact that they actually filmed this episode in the snow.
Kudos.
And I liked watching the behind the scenes with the makeup artist painting like the pink shade to make it
Hmm.
look like it's cold. Props to again, that's the one thing I like talking about is what the makeup department in this series, like from the cold on the face to Joel's, stab wound.
Yeah. They do a really good job. I'm convinced.
Oh yeah, no. I am too. Um, so we get back to Ellie going back to, Joel's place, their little hideout. I cringed when Ellie was sticking that penicillin needle in Joel. Like,
Yeah, I was watching with some other people. And they were like, "No, tell me when it's over." That was pretty funny. Well, their reactions were pretty funny.
I mean, it was convincing.
It was, yeah.
I know that wound. I think because I've seen it in a lot of other movies, especially horror movies, like they'll have the actor underneath a fake, like a fake prosthetic.
Hmm.
But I think that was like a fake prosthetic.
Yeah.
They had like Pedro underneath something, and then they had that body. So that's what they at least sticking the needle in.
People who work on
Uh,
prosthetics, man, they work too hard.
have you done any prosthetics before?
No, because it's too hard.
You're just like, screw that. I'll just buy like the fake chest or something, the
Yep,
fake
yep.
man chest.
I mean, as far as like all of my cosplay skills go, like I'm pretty weak in the makeup department. It's a tragedy. Oh well.
I mean, hey, the best thing about cosplay is you learn on the way. You learn these new things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell,
Gotta
look at you.
master sewing first.
You're learning how to like make a full serpentious outfit.
Historical sewing is its own beast, man. Oh my
Oh no,
god.
I mean, I have another friend who does no, another cosplayer friend who does historical sewing, and yeah, I can't imagine. And also, again, props to the costume department for this series.
Yeah, I wish I had a whole costume department, damn it.
Like, all right, you make this, you make that,
Exactly.
just stand there and hold the light.
My costumes would go a lot faster.
Hey, I get it. But yeah, then we're brought back to the scene where everyone's eating the venison. When the lady
Yeah,
asks,
uh-huh.
what's that?"
That was
And
the
I thought that,
lamest cover I've ever heard.
huh?
It was the lamest cover I've ever heard.
I thought that was venison because it looked like venison.
Mm-hmm,
For someone who's
mm-hmm.
actually had venison before, it looked like deer meat.
He was like, "It's venison." I'm like,
Yeah, it's
"Uh-huh,
venison.
here it is."
And you could see on the lady's face, like, she was like even questioning it too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we come back, and then, David and James come back with the deer, which the deer itself I thought was also really looked really convincing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know it was a real deer when they were like, when they were showing it, but then they used the again the costume department, the prop, just special effects to make something look like an actual buck
Yep.
with
Agreed.
the blood and everything and the tongue sticking out. Yeah, and then we learn that little girl, uh, her father was the one who basically got his neck snapped by Joel.
Mm-hmm. You feel bad for the kid, but you're also like, "Oh, your dad was gonna kill Joel. Can't have that happen."
In a world like that, when the world's gone to shit in this apocalypse, anyone will do what they can do to survive.
Yeah, you're out for yourself at that point.
I mean like I mean from like early on, James and David were talking how yeah, we have like enough to last maybe 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
and that deer would probably give him like maybe another week.
Mm-hmm.
So like who knows how long, because we don't really know about those people from the
Right.
game. Our main objective is to run, shoot, and fight them off. And this one is like, yeah, we're gonna make you feel for these people too.
I can't imagine having to try and feed that many people.
And it looks like there was a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
like 20 plus people. Of like trying to keep that many people fed, keep warm, a roof under their head. Like, ooh, no, thank you. I'll take my chances out in nature. And then we finally get to see David for who he is when that little girl was saying we should kill them both, and he just like smacks her. right off her chair.
My jaw dropped. I was just staring at the screen. I was like, did that
Like,
just happen?
hey,
Did I just see that?
there's a crazy psychotic fucker we all know from
Yeah,
the
right.
game.
It was really hard not spoiling for a couple of my friends who haven't seen the show yet. I was like, oh, David is in the next episode. They're like, who's David? And then I got a bunch of texts after the slap happened. I'm like, that's David.
That's David. That's a crazy fucker we all know. Oh, and then like I feel for James in this episode. Like I usually don't feel for NPCs, but like
Mhm.
even James, like why do we need her? We don't need her. She's just another mouth to feed. And David's like, oh well, I have to protect her.
Ugh.
Yeah, protect. And that scene again was different from the game. If you remember from the game, it was a whole on fucking chase scene.
Yeah. Mm. Mm.
Ah.
That the whole episode gave me the heebie-jeebies, and it was
Oh no, it just I was just like I'm glad they cut a lot from the game because like yeah, I'm glad they cut that part because playing that level myself was a pain in the fucking ass. Fighting off the infected in the sawmill, that was different. But like running away from all of like David's men,
yeah.
because even in the game they're like, well, what about that? David said, well, fuck David, basically. You've watched the behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of the stunt they did with the horse?
I thought that was good. My cat back.
Which one, Reggie or Delson?
Elton. Hi.
Well,
I thought it was good. Yeah, I'm impressed.
I didn't know that was like a damn near practical effect.
No, me neither. I could not have told you how that was done without
I
just like
mean,
killing the horse itself.
I knew the horse was gonna die because it died in the game, but the way the horse died in the game, it gets shot and they fall off a cliff edge.
Right.
And props to the stunt actor. I like the
Mhm.
fact I didn't know that was the stunt. I thought that was Bella Ramsey. But when it's behind the scenes, like, oh, what? Oh, they use a stunt. Well, that makes sense because they don't want to risk their leading role to hurt herself when she's basically bucked off a horse.
Right.
And that
Not
that
not trained for that.
no, I mean, she may be a badass, but she's not that kind of a badass to like And I didn't know, and I didn't know that was I think that what they used a fake horse trolley to move it on that track. So when James is getting ready to shoot, they use that CGI horse, and you just see the stunt actor just get flung
That's like
off
really
it.
the definition of like movie magic.
Oh yeah. And then we get to see the whole like in the game when the guys are asking, well, what about what David said? Oh, screw what David said, and almost
Mhm.
was about to shoot Ellie's like, and I thought that's what was gonna happen.
Right.
Like, wait, no. Oh, wait, David fired off his gun.
Which was a waste of a bullet, but whatever. He was just being dramatic.
Yeah. What did you think that whole entire sequence?
It was good. It was unsettling.
I mean, if you know, you
You you
know.
you really think she's gonna get away, and then she comes to a screeching halt and crashes off the horse, and then she's surrounded by guys. And you're like, oh yay, she's saved. Oh, she's saved by David. Ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
Yeah. And then I just like how they take the horse,
Hmm.
which I imagine they were going to use for food.
I sure hope so. If you're gonna shoot my horse, you better eat it.
Yeah. Right. And then like David said, "You want revenge? All right, you two go find him. James, you come back with me and drag the horse."
I like how Ellie left Joel with the knife and was
Oh
like,
yeah.
"When one comes down here, you stab the shit out of them."
She basically embodied Joel. She had to
Yeah,
beat Joel for that episode. Joel couldn't come and save her. She basically had to, you know, but I can't think of the word, but she
she had to
like,
watch out for herself. Yeah.
yeah, she had to stand up for herself because Joel's basically incapacitated.
Hmm.
But then she's like, she had to embody Joel, like, don't fall asleep if you see them, use this knife, because again, that was nothing ever in the game. I like the
Right.
fact that they're giving more Ellie more oomph in this
Agreed.
show.
Yeah.
And my favorite part comes up where Joel recreates the map scene, almost shot for fucking
Mm,
shot.
it was good. It was so grisly. I mean, we don't really see anything, but like the tension is there.
Oh yeah, no. Again, okay, so I got really asked, what were your thoughts on the interrogation scene with the map and Joel and the two guys who were basically scared shitless of him?
I loved it. It was so ruthless. Like, I think we see a little more of ruthless Joel in the game, and this is the first time we've really seen ruthless Joel in the show. So I think this
Oh
was a
yeah.
surprise to people who haven't seen him before.
Oh, I was shocked,
Yeah.
honestly. I was
It's like,
happy, but I was
"Hey."
shocked. But yeah, I just like the game, like the bad guys are all like rough and tough, but the moment like he has them tied up and everything, and Joel like shows his like mean sides, like it's like a shit in the pants moment.
Yeah, he's not screwing around.
Mm-mm. He does the exact thing, where the guy's like, I'm not telling you, then he just like stabs the guy's knee with a knife and everything, just
Ugh.
like the game. Holds his chin and puts the knife in his mouth to you better tell me you better point to where your buddy pointed and everything.
I love
Oh,
it too when he walks over and the other guy's like, I'm not going to tell you anything. He's like, oh, don't worry. I believed the other guy just kills him.
just like just and just like the game, he's about to get ready to whack, and it just fades to black.
It was really well done.
Oh yeah, no, it. Let me get to my least favorite scene after that, where Ellie's held up in that little prison cell.
Oh, yeah. Gross. Ugh.
Mm.
Everything about David afterwards, like after he abducts Ellie,
And
as
he
if he
smacks
wasn't
that girl.
gross already, like he really made my skin crawl.
And the props to the actor for doing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't know what's really happening. Like in the game, and again, it's a slight deviation because in the game, you see that guy chopping up the meat,
Yeah.
and in this one, we don't. We it's like I was actually okay. So I know in the game they're cannibals, but like, are we gonna see it? Wait, why is Ellie looking shocked and everything? Where is she? Why is she still? Oh, that's an ear.
Yeah. That was gross.
And I think we all know whose ear that was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, sweetie. We weren't able to bury your dad because we ate him.
Ugh. Yeah, I
Yep.
was the cannibalism. I was surprised that in the show this seems to have been the first person they've eaten, whereas in the game I think they'd eaten more
I,
people.
I, I, I think they've eaten. I think they eat their dead
Yeah.
because David was saying only a few of us know about this.
Right.
So it's like, how long have you guys been? So instead of, I mean, they basically don't let food go to waste, literally.
Hmm.
And I wonder and imagine that I'm now thinking about it, the meat that they were eating during the dinner scene
Hmm.
was that little girl's dad.
Yep. Yep.
We're feeding you your husband.
Oh.
Why does this smell like my dad? Because it is your dad. Now eat your dad's soup.
God.
So fucked up.
I like how
Uh,
they didn't hide the fact that this group of people was cannibals.
well,
But
like
you
not like I
had
think like only like a few like I think like a few of them are cannibals and the others are just oblivious. Like they
yeah.
don't know. Ugh.
I kind of wish someone had picked up the ear and taken a bite out of it because that would have just like sent me over the edge.
Oh no, and again, props to the special effects department for making a convincing human ear.
Looked like an ear to me.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. And I'm guessing that one guy who brought out the meat, I guess that was supposed to be the same guy who was chopping up the meat when Ellie was in her cell
Okay.
in
I
the
got you.
game. Which and we there was one scene we didn't see. Like in the game when you're playing as Joel and you see all those like the backpacks and shoes and everything,
Yeah,
we didn't see that.
right.
Like, what
No,
the?
instead we got corpses hanging from the ceiling.
Oh yeah. And then that again that scene is recreated where it's like, oh, don't worry, it's it's the deer meat, like the actual deer they shot.
Uh-huh, sure it is.
You gotta chop me up into tiny little pieces too. Oh no,
I,
we wanted to keep you.
I love how Ellie did not make it easy for them for one
Mm-mm.
second.
Oh no. Oh god, yeah, no. And then again, my another favorite part where you know uh, not the part where David's being a creep to Ellie, but
Mm-hmm.
like when she's like, oh, okay, oh, just grabs his hand and just breaks his fingers and tries to go for again a same shot for shot like in the game,
Yeah, it's
except
great.
in the game he calls her a stupid little girl. In
Mm-hmm.
the show, he calls her a word I cannot say because one, it's a fucked up word, and two, I would get fucking banned from YouTube for saying that word. And he's like, when I heard him say this, like, did he actually say what I think he said?
Everything they did with David was just perfect, and Ellie's reaction to all of it was equally
Ellie,
perfect.
what? Tell him that Ellie's the little girl that broke your fucking finger,
Oh, that was glorious.
just like in the
Love that.
game, just
Yeah.
like in the game.
It's got to be one of my favorite lines in the game. It was just so good.
Ah, and Joel's finally going to save Ellie in the blizzard. Ah,
Can't believe he's moving.
just like got like a freaking you know, yeah. No, and it's just like in the game. It shows him like hurting a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
No big deal. Just a flesh wound.
it's just just but a scratch. Uh, what did you think the scene after that when they were about to when they were like grabbing onto Ellie to put her on the chopping block table? What did you
Oh,
think of
that
that
was
whole entire scene?
tense. That was tense. I wasn't sure if they were going to recreate it exactly from the game or not.
Oh, they did.
Pretty much a recreation.
Oh yeah, bites. I didn't even see her bite. I didn't even see her bite David in this one because like in the game you see her bite, and
She
she
was
tells him to
too good.
roll up her sleeve, and James's reaction, like he's looking at it like holy shit,
Mm-hmm. Which is
like
appropriate.
seems pretty fucking real to me.
Yeah, I don't know how you. I mean, he's right. I don't know how you would fake a bite.
No, yeah, because like he was saying, she would have turned by now, and like in James's mind, he doesn't care about that. He thinks, oh my god, she's infected. She bit him.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Just and seeing again Troy Baker. I'm so glad they brought Troy back. I'm glad they brought back that not only is she voice playing, but she was the original voice and mocap for Marlene in the game.
Oh, yeah, it was great seeing
I
them.
mean, bringing also the guy bringing I can't remember his name, but he played as Tommy. He voiced Tommy in the
Yes.
game, and Ashley Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm glad that they brought those characters back. I'm kind of curious what other returning characters they're going to bring for season. What other game actors they're going to bring for season 2 in. I'm slightly curious now.
All the Easter eggs are pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah, and then it comes to my favorite scene where Ellie grabs a meat cleaver and just chucks it right into James's neck.
That was really satisfying.
Oh yeah,
Such
like
a badass move too. Good for
I
her.
oh no, and I like the behind the scenes too. Like you can even see like seeing Troy Baker get into play as a character. Like he doesn't care that he gets to die. He's just happy to be part of something that he originally helped create.
Just there to participate.
Literally, it's been 10 years since the game originally came out.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So the fact that they waited 10 years to make the show, it works. Oh, and again, to save for time, they skip that entire scene where you're hiding from all the men
Mm-hmm.
after you like leave that the slaughterhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Like good, because
Yeah.
I remember
I don't
playing
think
that
I
and
would have wanted to
I
watch
remember
that.
playing that and I got fucking lost. Like, where the hell am I going? I don't know. There's snow, storm, I'm trying to evade. I don't have a gun. I'm basically playing fucking hide and seek with these crazy fuckers.
That happened in me, with me early on in the game. Oh my god. They went through like the museum with
Hmm.
Tess and Ellie and the clickers are around and I had no idea where they went. I'm like, where am I? Like where am I?
Oh yeah, with you recently playing the game, what are some of the differences and similarities that you've noticed from this particular episode that were in the from the game too?
I guess for lack of better words, they kept all of the really big important stuff the same, which I appreciated, and they kind of got rid of anything that was just extraneous. I mean, I'd probably call this a really good summary of what happened during that encounter during the game.
And again, every episode has a goddamn fake out. Like, like earlier when Ellie we see that white rabbit. It's like it
Mhm.
reminds me of that meme of that Twitch streamer who says this is the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
I was just like, oh, a little white rabbit. Are we? Nope. Runs away. Like God, again, I love these fake outs. Honestly.
I feel like the only thing, if I could nitpick one thing in this episode, it's during the boss fight with David. And in the game, there are these broken plates all over the floor, and if you step on them, he like
Hmm.
hooks it towards you. And I wouldn't have minded Ellie stepping accidentally on one plate and he just appears.
Oh yeah.
And then she has to
How
hide herself again.
how does the fire get started in the game?
Yes.
I can't remember. And then just it was like a split second because I was distracted by my phone when I was watching. It's like, wait,
Of
there's
course
fire
you are.
already? And it's completely different how Davis basically said, "I'm here to save you, Ellie. I'm here to like have you make you have a better life and blah 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 blah." And David's boss fight was a pain in the ass. Like you have to hide, and when he's not looking, grab like a bottle or a brick and just chuck it at him.
And it's scary too. I mean, this is a guy who wants to like eat you. He wants to like have a kid bride. He's oh,
Just
nothing about him is
again,
good.
he went from a teacher to a preacher. And
Ugh.
if that doesn't, make you cringe, I don't know what does. But God, that episode was fucking just dark.
I really liked it when she got David and stabbed him and did
Oh
not
yeah.
stop stabbing him. I was
Oh
like,
no,
it's okay. Let
just
it out.
like in the game. Like just like ah, 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 ah.
It was interesting because it went on for so long that it got to
Oh
be
yeah.
disturbing, but
And
you're
just
also
like
like, she's just been through some
and
shit.
just like in the game, it doesn't show David like getting chopped up by a machete. And
Right.
that and again, speaking of another deviation, it completely changes. Like Ellie's just got done basically turning the guy into fucking ground beef,
Yeah.
and she walks out of the building.
Yeah.
She walks out of the burning restaurant. What were your thoughts on that little change?
Oh, I thought it was great. I liked that she was essentially saving herself and then she saw Joel on the way out.
Oh yeah, and again, that was a slight recreation too, where unlike the game, he comes up behind her right after she's turning David into.
It scares the crap out of her.
Oh yeah, and she's freaking out. And I kind of got a little teary eyed when he called her, just like in the game where he called her baby girl.
It was wonderful.
Girl. I was like, oh great. Just like in the game, he's finally like it was also at this part in the game where he finally started to like get more attached to her. It's like
He finally said it.
he almost lost her, and he hadn't said baby girl since he lost Sarah.
Yeah.
And I think we could, this finally is the part where just like in the game, Joel's finally grown attached to Ellie.
Mm-hmm. Took him long enough.
Like goddamn. And then just after that, they just walk off, and who knows where the other townspeople are.
Yeah.
They lost their quote unquote profit and everything.
Oh no, what a shame.
Oh no. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, no, this I'm really looking forward to the next episode, and like always, what were all your general thoughts on this episode, and did it exceed your expectations?
It did exceed my expectations. I loved it. I think this has been my favorite, Sam and Henry, close second.
Bill and Frank are for me.
Oh, they were good too.
I just can't get over that, and now I really wanted to. I wanted to cosplay as Bill and find someone who would like to cosplay as Frank.
Do it.
I got the beard. I just need to find the wig, and I could easily get the same outfit. I just want to recreate. I just want to find someone I want to find someone to recreate that one scene where they're having their little spat outside, and then Bill goes, "The government are all Nazis." I just want to recreate that scene so bad.
Absolutely iconic. I'm really just a sucker for a well-written villain. I mean, there's a lot of media out there that has a villain, but how often are the villains done dirty? I like David. He was just so well written.
No.
I hate him so
Well, I
much.
mean, again, they, just like with Kathleen, they're humanizing all these bad people.
Right.
Even though Kathleen was written specifically for the show, because she was never that whole level was entire thing in itself.
That was very rethought out.
No, I'm glad they added that in, honestly.
Yes.
But yeah, overall, your thoughts and expectations from this show, from this episode.
Loved it. Great. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, we just got 2 more days until the last episode of The Last of Us Season 1.
It's weird that there's only one left.
So, as we always talk about, what are your general thoughts on this last episode? The fact that we're getting another flashback scene. This time we actually get to see Ellie's mom when she gives birth to her.
Yeah, this should be interesting. As far as for the events that are going to happen in Salt Lake City, I think that is probably going to be a direct recreation.
Now they better show a giraffe. That's all I'm saying. You showed us the monkeys. Right? You better show us a fucking giraffes. Like, I don't care if they're CGI. I want to see giant giraffes, please.
I totally expect them to add more to Ellie's background since we saw her mom, but everything that happens in the present day, I expect that's pretty much going to be direct recreation.
The one thing that kind of threw me off guard when they were showing that trailer, you saw that scene where like someone threw like a pipe bomb at them or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I wonder if that was the Fireflies that did that, because it's just like in the game, the Fireflies don't know who Joel and Ellie are.
Right.
They just think they're trespassers.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah,
and Marlene was there in the game. I wonder if she'll be there again in the show.
I mean, it'd be kind of a and I hate to say this, it'd be pretty fucking stupid to not, because I looked on IMDb and it says that Marlene was only in one episode, but you kind of have to have her in the last episode because I'm just saying.
Gotta go full circle. Hello.
But But seeing this episode with Ellie's mom and that scene where she's being chased by that infected, I'm kind of wondering if, like I said in the last one, if my little theory could be confirmed on how on Ellie's immunity, how her mom potentially got bit, and while she was giving birth to Ellie, somehow Ellie got an immunity while when her mom got infected.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, because I saw a snippet, a little an image shot of that scene where it shows Ellie's mom walking through the woods being pregnant with Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, and the fact I got the voice of Ellie giving birth to, that's crazy.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, and then and as always, for those who are watching, be sure to next month, be sure to check out as Kira and I and maybe a few other people talk about if this was worth making, which is completely different from what are your thoughts? Because we're gonna be talking about more stuff. It's just hopefully, if I show clips, hopefully YouTube doesn't hit me with a copyright claim.
Yeah, that would be rude.
Yeah. But yeah, no, this Sunday, very last episode. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm
It's
hoping it's an
weird
hour and a
to
half
read it.
long episode because
Yeah,
it would make
I'm
sense.
expecting 90 minutes.
I am too, especially with seeing the flashback scene of Ellie's mom. I mean,
Yeah, and if they really want to set themselves up for success with season 2, we will see a little bit of Abby.
I'm
So,
I am I will yeah, we'll discuss more after about that after in this. I'm always gonna ask. You know what I'm gonna ask next? Would you like to promote yourself by letting people know where they can find you on social media?
yeah, my name is Kira's Cosplay, and you can find me on Instagram. I also have a Facebook. My cats are breaking things, and I have a TikTok.
Yes, be sure to also look out. You may be seeing Delson and Reggie in uh, our final. What are your thoughts on this show?
They're always around. Can't get rid of them.
As always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching.